very much. Anyway, I'm very happy that, as Jim said, that it's not the quantity of the number of the people, it's the quality. So let me take this way. I really appreciate that you have taken your time and come here, particularly my old buddy Jim and my also quite old buddy Arnold. Not to talk about the other
Old buddy, no.
old buddies.
Young together, how about that?
Yeah, that's right. We have got the message from quite a few people who could not come today, but they are excused, and then it's unfortunate because then they miss the event. And as agreed yesterday, I will talk today more about my project or the work I'm doing now. And it's a bilateral program supported by the Finnish government to strengthen the institution of IGAD. Yeah, IGAD stands for International Intergovernmental Authority of Development, and it's one of the 8 regional communities or commissions in Africa. African Union has 54 countries, and then the headquarters is in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and then they have in different parts of Africa. As you saw yesterday, it's a huge continent, so they have regional structures, institutions. And
I don't know if that thing works or not.
Is it plugged in?
Well, I don't know where the plug was.
No, it just goes
on
in. It just goes in one of the little.
if it is
What's the
okay,
plug?
I will sit down and
looks
I will
like-
use the computer. That's no problem.
All right.
So these are the 8 member countries of the Intergovernmental Authority of Development. We had 7 countries, but then 2 years ago South Sudan became independent, and so we have now 8 countries. And you see the small country called Djibouti, and that's where I am working. Headquarters, and the Intergovernmental Authority of Development was established in 1986. Now it's working. Oh yes. 1986 during the drought, and then in the 90s the name was the word drought was taken over and it became IGAD with 1 D only. And those days there was a lot of that drought here in Eritrea and Ethiopia, and now again drought is in our agenda very high because of the droughts in Somalia and these huge refugee camps which are here on the Kenyan side. The structure of IGAD as an institution is so that we have executive secretary. It's called secretariat first of all, and then we have the normal setup with the legal office, auditors. We have a gender specialist, gender office, and we have a planning and management and coordination office. And then we have 4 divisions, of course, administration and finance, which supports everybody. And then we have agriculture and environment as a technical division. We have social and economic development and cooperation division, where we're looking at trade, industry, tourism, transport, and social sector issues in health and HIV/AIDS and so on. And then we have the division of peace and security, which has been actually the most important at the beginning, because there were so many conflicts between Ethiopia and Eritrea, between Uganda and South Sudan, and so on. So these are the 4 divisions. And then the reason why this program is ongoing, that we are strengthening the institution, is that they're getting a lot of money from various donors, about 10, 12, 11 donor groups or identities. US government, the Germans, all the Nordic countries are in basket funding, the African Development Bank, and now the Swiss are coming into the picture. So we need to strengthen this unit in order that they can manage and plan the projects and monitor and evaluate. And so this is why this PPMU is the unit that has been funded by the Finnish money, and this is where I am now working as the senior advisor. So the IGAD has offices. The secretariat, as I mentioned, is in Djibouti, but we also have offices in South Sudan, Jim can see that. We have a liaison office in Kenya, we have Khartoum office in the Sudan, and we have Somalia facilitation office, but it is still in Addis Ababa because Somalia doesn't have yet a stable government. In addition to these liaison offices, we have different specialized institutions. For example, this Seaborn is a conflict early warning and response mechanism. It's been supported many years by Germans, by US government, and they are promoting peace building and negotiations in these crisis border areas between governments. Then we have the very important is this climate prediction and application center in Kenya, which is in the meteorological department in Kenya, and they are now building new headquarters. But this is very critical because they have to predict the climate changes. You know, the rains, the droughts, the problems which is happening. And then other programs, we have this security sector program, EISSP, which means that they are looking after money laundering, after corruption, after illegal issues, illegal migration. So it's a security program which is critical between the countries. And then we have a very big World Bank funded regional HIV/AIDS partnership program. Now the objective of our Finnish support is that we want to strengthen the role of IGAD as an economic regional community, and also recognize IGAD's roles in peace and prosperity. We have given funding for this program in 3 different ways. First of all, we are putting money in the joint basket with the Nordic countries, Finland, Sweden, Norway and Denmark. So it's a kind of easy, makes delivery and reporting easier. Then we are strengthening the institution. This is exactly the Secretariat's PPMU. And then we have been supporting for years the special envoy in Sudan, which was negotiating the North and South Sudan peace agreement. And the support which I am part of is in 2 ways. We have the technical assistance, and I am the senior consultant. I have 18 months within 3 years. And then we recruit short-term consultants whatever IGAD needs. In addition, we give a grant, we give money in the budget of the institution, in the finance budget, in the budget basket. And they have recruited 3 regional experts who are working in the PPMU unit, and then they are supporting the activity. And this is my team. When we were launching the program, this is Mr. Ahmed Habane, he is the head of the coordination unit. And then I have a senior expert from Kenya, he's in civil engineer. I have a junior expert from Uganda, he's an economist, and another transport economist from Ethiopia. And then these are 2 guys who are our finance and accounts and administration support people. Here are some pictures of my colleagues. This is our executive secretary. This was in the launching event, and he is from the Finnish embassy in Addis Ababa. And then this picture has all our directors. We have a director of agriculture. This is the executive secretary. We have the planning and coordination. She is the finance and administration director, and she is the peace and security director. She's from Ethiopia. And then our team has been expanding. You know, I was quite touched because we had no gender balance, because we had no women in the team. So then we started negotiating, and we got a very nice, excellent secretary, Nuria. And then last year we got a junior woman who is a program assistant, and she has her master's degree from Montreal. So she has been 11 years in Canada, and is a very linguistic and capable young woman, master's degree. And then I was able to establish a new program for IGAD, which is internship program. So I have an intern from Finland. Finland is funding for 6 months, and I'm getting another one. I always like to support young people, you know that. And then there are 3 things which we have been now accomplishing quite actively. One is important is we are doing manuals and tools, And we are looking at, of course, other REX systems. You know, there is COMESA is based in Lusaka. We have Southern African Commission is in Gaborone, Botswana. We have another region, Eastern African regional group is in Tanzania. So we learn what the others are doing, and then all the time what is important is that we are mainstreaming environmental, governance, gender, women's empowerment and HIV/AIDS issues. The first big job which we did is we developed these manuals on project cycle management. You have to have a system for the organization, and then we need to train the people, you who are involved in training and activities and understand that it's an important one. So then we develop these manuals, the consultants come and develop the work and the training manuals and the substantive parts, and then we have a training. And here is two consultants from Finland, and they came to train the staff. And we have training workshops for IGAD staff from all these institutions and locations. And this was our training in Addis Ababa, and these are all people coming from Kenya and Juba and Djibouti and Kenya and Uganda, and so these were our colleagues. The second activity, which was very important priority by IGAD, was the monitoring and evaluation guidelines. And so we learned what the others are doing, and again we did training. Here is